Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Eisenherz and today we're going to have a look at the Hulk variant of Thalia and the Gitrog monster. Just a few days ago we got an interesting spoiler from the new Lord of the Rings set, Samwise Gamgee. This 2 CMC creature reads: whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a food token. Sacrifice 3 foods, return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. At first this seems like a neat little value creature, but it is way more than that. Combined with Kauldron Familiar and a sacrifice outlet, you will have an infinite drain engine that can be assembled with a single Protean Hulk trigger, while also leaving room for Grand Abolishar to protect your combo. So the combo works like this. First you sacrifice Protean Hulk to Thalia and the Gitrog monster's attack trigger. With the Protean Hulk trigger you then tutor up Grand Abolishar, Viscera Seer, Kauldron Familiar and Samwise Gamgee. Because of its ETB, Kauldron Familiar will drain your opponents for 1, and as 3 non-token creatures enter the battlefield under your control, Samwise will trigger and create 3 food tokens. Next, you sacrifice Kauldron Familiar to Viscera Seer and scry 1. Finally, you sacrifice 1 food token to return Kauldron Familiar to the battlefield, drain your opponents for 1, and create 1 food token through Samwise Gamgee. You can now infinitely sacrifice and recur Kauldron Familiar to drain your opponent's life total, all while being protected by Grand Abolishar, and all while having 3 food tokens from the get-go in order to activate the loop on top of any niche interaction that might still be possible through Grand Abolishar. This Hulk pile is great because it is very compact, has solid card quality and is super resilient. This sold me on the idea to even consider building a Hulk version, because personally I value higher card quality over potential combos and am therefore not the biggest fan of Hulk decks per se. Anyway, this pile hits all the right spots, and around it I decided to go for a Stax shell that focuses on the most impactful Stax pieces like Draneth, Opposition Agent, Archon of Emeria and an array of Artifact Hate, which in theory should help me to slow down the game to a pace where I can present a win more easily. I decided to cut most of the Rule of Law effects, except for Archon, because it's just so backbreaking for most decks, and I also kept Deafening Silence because it is almost asymmetrical with a list that's as creature heavy as this one. Playing a single Hulk pile, however, might not be enough, especially because cards can end up in your hand, graveyard or exile. So for additional resilience, there are 2 more solid Hulk piles in Absent colors that could be played. Both of these only add a few extra cards to the combo package, are fairly resilient and have a decent card quality. But I'm only on 1 backup pile because I want more overall good cards on the deck. So let's have a look at these 2 piles. Option 1 consists of Grand Abolishar, Viscera Seer, Activated Sleeper, Vespalark and Elazil Core. First you sacrifice Protean Hulk to Thalia and the Gitrog monster's attack trigger. Then you tutor up Grand Abolishar, Viscera Seer and Activated Sleeper. Have Activated Sleeper become a copy of Protean Hulk and sacrifice it to Viscera Seer to now tutor up Vespalark and Elazil Core. Next, sacrifice Vespalark to return Activated Sleeper to the battlefield and drain your opponents for 1 with Elazil Core. To perform a loop, have Activated Sleeper become a copy of Vespalark. Then sacrifice it to return itself to the battlefield as a copy of Vespalark, and drain your opponents for 1 with Elazil Core. Now simply repeat sacrificing and recurring it for infinite drain. This pile is great because it has protection via Grand Abolishar and closes out the game on the spot. Also, the card quality is fairly high, which gives the pieces some use outside of the Hulk pile, and that's why I'm opting to slot this pile at the moment. Option 2 consists of Viscera Seer, Sylvan Safekeeper, Dryad Arbor, Body Snatcher, Marilyn of the Mornsong and Opposition Agent. First, sacrifice Protean Hulk to Thalia and the Gitrog monster's attack trigger. Tutor up Body Snatcher, Sylvan Safekeeper, Dryad Arbor and Viscera Seer. Sacrifice Body Snatcher in response to its own ETB trigger to reanimate Protean Hulk. Now sacrifice Protean Hulk to get Marilyn of the Mornsong and Opposition Agent. You now have a protected hardlock that causes your opponents to lose 3 life every turn and allows you to tutor up a card on their upkeep. Now tutor up any kind of win condition your opponents play and close out the game from there. This pile is also great because it fits the overall Stax theme, but it definitely has its downsides because it does not immediately win the game, unlike option 1. Well, other than the Hulk piles and the hate effects, my current iteration of the list consists of mostly mana acceleration in form of dorks, a ton of tutors, some entomb and reanimation effects, a little bit of removal, some protection, And as most other Hulk lists, my version also plays Academy Rector and Pattern of Rebirth as one-card combos to assemble Hulk lines faster and more easily. There are definitely ways to win as early as turn 3, but that's not the main focus. A well-protected win is definitely better than a rushed one, and to grind some value with our commander, we play a decent amount of lands and Ramunap Excavator, which will help us to draw an extra card every turn, and basically ramp with multiple land drops every turn. The Horizon land cycle can also be used to draw more cards, so that's a nice little engine you can get going with Ramunap Excavator and your commander. And that's it with my quick little Thalia Gitrog Hulk Stax deck tech. That's a mouthful. Make sure to check out the full list, which will be linked in the description box down below. If you have any more questions, hit me up on Discord or join the Unified Hulk Discord server. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. This is Eisenherz and auf Wiedersehen.